people, and that you can have a secure school that is appropriate and welcoming in an educational setting such as our community. And we certainly have security officers at the high school who are very welcoming. I'm there with my child for the Suzuki program, and they're, hopefully they're members of our community. They certainly act like that. They know the students. They know the parents. M2U00313 has a security arm. You could do an extra purchase order off either of those contracts and have somebody at the door tomorrow if we can't allocate other staff within the district. And in short of that, you could have the policy that nobody is buzzed in, that somebody goes to the door of the, just like the teacher from that other school in the video did. That we have ownership of our school and our security, which I have not heard. Because right now we're requiring on judgments by people who are not trained in the security industry via remote camera, and a whole lot of compliance by people who may not intend good things for our school community and our children. And I appreciate that you're operating in an environment that's very short of resources, but it would cost $30,000 to have somebody there 9 months a year. That's what it would cost. I can do the back of the envelope calculation. I can lay out all the elements, the wages, the benefits, the FICA food to roll up, the markup for the company.
And if I may, watchdogs.
And if we don't have that, don't have that money, then the district needs to tell us that. And Superintendent Osborne, when you wanted full-day kindergarten, you were politically ingenious about laying out the options for the community and building political will. If we need the political will to find $30,000 to secure our school, for each school, I think this community can do that, and I think we can work with Assemblyperson Jay-Z, and if the Board of Education members don't want to join this, then we'll vote them out. But this is not something that needs to wait for us to find the money to implement. We should not be requiring cooperation with people who do not intend good things when they come into our school. Thank you.
Before we were disbanded last year as the safety committee, we were in conversation with Chief Cimino and Sergeant Kevin Kish about security issues after Newtown. And we met with the police department weekly for the last 4.5 years, dealing with all kinds of security concerns around the school. One of the things that we did, as you may or may not remember, was that there was a cop car in front of the school 3 or 4 times a week. We also were in conversation at the time after Newtown, talking with the chief about additional layers of security that could be provided to the school because we had this working relationship with the police department. And one of the things that we had talked about after Newtown was having one of the police officers who is on duty, and they said they had the manpower for this, is that randomly through the week, at least once a week, that it would be on some patrol officer's duty list that somebody would walk through Tuscan, just as a random act and another layer of security. And we were talking about this last year. It just didn't ever come to fruition. Now, does this address the issue that we're here tonight about? No. But it isn't a one answer to all of this, as we all know. This is creating a multi-layered platform so that we can ensure safety as best we can. So that is a suggestion.
And Judy, just to echo, Mr. Mason and I met with several police officers throughout this day and since. And they are continuing to come around, and they came in to reassure us that we are on their duty roster schedule. We met with Patrolman Kelly, we spoke with Detective Baez, Sally, Hall, and Detective Ray, our school DARE officer. So our Maplewood Police Department has been extremely supportive, and we talked about, they let us know that we have always been on their radar, so they haven't dropped off.
No, but they were going to come in and formalize a walkthrough. That was on the plan, was to formalize a weekly walkthrough.
Right, and they did come to us today, and I do certainly appreciate the parents who called them directly. They did indicate, thank you. They did indicate that they spoke with parents directly, which was very, very important and very helpful. And just throughout this whole process, we just have to keep communicating that if you see something, say something to us. If you are at the door and you're buzzed in without